All right, boys and girls, let's continue with math, please. Topic 13 for the second week. We're on page 736, please, boys and girls. Okay, number 14. It says, if you attend all of the functions of a reunion, how long do you spend at family reunion activities? If you attend all the functions of the reunion, how long do you spend at family reunion activities? All right, boys and girls, the table we have here is a Suarez family reunion schedule. And family reunion, boys and girls, the definition of a family reunion is an occasion when many members of an extended family congregate. Sometimes reunions are held regularly. For example, on the same date of every year, a typical family reunion will assemble grandparents, great-grandparents, and up for a meal, some recreation and discussion. So it's kind of like a big party, boys and girls, for all your family members, grandparents, great-grandparents, cousins, aunts, and uncles. And this is what they look like, boys and girls. When all the family gets together, look at that one, boys and girls. Oh, when all the family members get together, sometimes they even have like the same t-shirts, the same colors, and they just get together and celebrate and have a good time. That's a family reunion, boys and girls. Okay, so the Suarez family reunion, they're taking a trip to Scenic Lake Park, and that's how long they're going to be at the park, 4 hours and 15 minutes. Then they're going to go watch a slide show for 55 minutes. Then they're going to have dinner that's going to last about an hour and 30 minutes, and a campfire, an hour and 35 minutes, boys and girls. This is the schedule for their activities. This is what they're going to do throughout the day, and this is how much time they're going to spend doing these activities, boys and girls. So the question, boys and girls, is how long are you going to spend doing all these functions, all of the functions, all of the activities, boys and girls? So let me go to Doc Hub. Okay, boys and girls, I'm under Doc Hub, and let's see if we can figure this out. We're going to have to add all of these, boys and girls, for number 14. How long do you spend at the family reunion? And it says attend all of the functions. So boys and girls, we're going to have to add these. So you gotta be careful, boys and girls. You can add them, but remember, for 1 hour is equivalent to 60 minutes, boys and girls. So every time you have 60 minutes, remember it's supposed to equal 1 hour, boys and girls. Okay, so I'm not going to do all the work for you, boys and girls. I'm going to help you though, okay? So if you were to add these, I'm going to be a little lazy, and I'm just going to add them here. Okay, help me out, boys and girls. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 0 is still 10. 10 plus 5, 15. Okay, let me change the color of the pen. So we had a 15. So I put 5 there, and we regroup the 1. Circle it, boys and girls. Okay, so let's continue adding our minutes. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. And 10 plus 3, boys and girls, is 13. Okay, I'm going to write all those minutes there. I did not regroup the 1, boys and girls. Why? Because we need to separate the hours from the minutes, boys and girls. We need to keep that separate, boys and girls. Okay, so we have 135 minutes. Okay, 135 minutes, boys and girls. We can add the hours as well. Let's do that. 4 plus 1 is 5, and 5 plus 1 is 6. We have 6 hours. Okay, here's the thing, boys and girls. I am not going to help you convert. That's your job. Remember, boys and girls, every time you have 60 minutes, you're supposed to change it to an hour. So I'm going to help you with the first one. I'll help you with the first one, boys and girls. So if I take away 60 minutes, 5 take away 0 is 5. 3 take away 6 cannot, need to regroup, boys and girls. The 1 becomes a 0, gives me a 1. I'm now a 13, boys and girls. I'm going to circle the 1 and the 3 together. So I have a 13. 13 take away 6, boys and girls. If you're not sure, you know you can count up. So let's say 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That is 7. Oops. I want it to be the same color. Give me a minute, boys and girls. So 7. Okay. And 0 take away nothing is nothing. So we still have 75 minutes left, boys and girls. Can you tell me, boys and girls, is that enough to make another hour? We already took away an hour here, guys. This is equal to another hour. Okay. So if this was another hour, then this is going to change. And it gives us now 7 hours. Because of these 60 minutes that we subtracted from 135, which is equivalent to 1 hour, boys and girls. So now instead of 6, I have 7. But I still have 75 minutes left, boys and girls. I think we have enough to make another hour. So continue doing this step, please, boys and girls, to finish answering this question. Okay. So if you're able to take away another 60 minutes, remember that makes another hour. And then how minutes would you still have left? So once you convert those 60 minutes to another hour, so your final answer is going to be how many hours you have on this side and how many minutes you still have left, boys and girls. Okay, that's how you're going to do number 14. Number 15, boys and girls, we're going to do this one together. Okay, so but for 14, this is not the answer. I still need your answer, boys and girls. All right, for number 15. I'm going to put a question mark here to remind you that you still need to give me the answer, boys and girls. All right, number 15. There are 55 minutes between the time that dinner ends and the campfire begins. What is the elapsed time from the beginning of dinner to the beginning of the campfire? And elapsed time, boys and girls, elapsed time, boys and girls, is the amount of time that passes from the beginning of an event to its end. Okay, so elapsed time, boys and girls, is just how long something lasts. Like you can see here, from 3:35 to 4 p.m. is 25 minutes. From 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. is 2 hours. So that's all it means, boys and girls. Elapsed time is just how long something is taking, how much time is passing by. That's all it means, boys and girls. Okay, let's continue. So what is the elapsed time from the beginning of dinner to the beginning of the campfire? All right, we have a lot of information, guys. All right, let's look at this. Okay, so they're letting us know that there's 55 minutes between. So I'm gonna put 55 minutes between something. Between what, boys and girls? Between the time that dinner ends and the time that the campfire begins. So from whenever time the dinner ends and campfire begins, there's going to be 55 minutes in between. So we're talking about two things, boys and girls. All right, so let's go to the time. How long is dinner? Let's see. Dinner's going to be 1 hour and 30 minutes. I'm going to write it over here, boys and girls. 1 hour 1 hour, 30, I'll put a little M underneath. 1 hour, 30 minutes. And this, boys and girls, is dinner. Capital D for dinner. Then what happens is that there's going to be 55 minutes in between. So in here is going to be 55 minutes. Okay. The next thing they asked us to look at was, and the campfire begins. Okay. Campfire, this is how long the campfire is going to take. So we can write that. Might as well write that now. Okay. And it is capital C for campfire. And it is 1 hour and 35 minutes. Okay. 1 hour, 35 minutes. So the elapsed time, boys and girls, is like, once again, how long is something taking from the time that begins, the time it ends? How long did it take? That's elapsed time, boys and girls. Okay. So what is elapsed time from the beginning? You get a different color. Okay. What is elapsed time from the beginning of dinner? Beginning. From the beginning of dinner to the beginning of the campfire, boys and girls. So really, boys and girls, if you look at it like this, like a strip diagram, there's trash, boys and girls. Even though they mentioned dinner and the campfire, D for dinner, C for the campfire, talking about dinner and campfire, and the campfire begins, boys and girls. Okay, so they're looking at from the time the dinner ends, and dinner took this amount of time, boys and girls. It took 1 hour, 30 minutes from the time that it ended. So this is how long it took. The elapsed time from the beginning of dinner, which is this beginning time, and this is how long it took, to the beginning of the campfire. So they only want us to look at the beginning part, boys and girls, just this part. So can you tell me what's trash? If now we're looking at the strip diagram this way, what's trash, boys and girls? And if you said trash is the amount of time the campfire took, then you're correct. We don't need that after all, boys and girls. Why? Because we want the elapsed time, how long did it take from beginning of dinner, when you started dinner, and this is how long dinner took, and then all the way to the beginning of the campfire. You stop right here, the beginning part of it, not how long did it also take. But remember, boys and girls, the 55 minutes are in between. All right. So now, what do you want to do with this time, boys and girls, with these numbers? If they want to know how long the elapsed time was, right, boys and girls, how long something took, right here, they're telling you it's 25 minutes. Here's 2 hours. Here's 20 minutes. So what do you want to do with this amount of information, boys and girls? The 1 hour, 30 minutes and the 55 minutes, what do you think we should do with that? If you said add, then you are correct, boys and girls. So let's add them. And again, you know me, I'm a little lazy, and I'm just going to use the numbers that are written here. And I'm just going to add the 55 now down here, plus 55. Okay. And I hope you add, but you're going to have to convert, boys and girls. 0 plus 5 is 5. And remember, boys and girls, it is a good thing. It's a smart thing to keep your hours and your minutes separate. Keep them separate, boys and girls. 0 plus 5 is 5. 3 plus 5 is 8. We have 85 minutes. And over here, we still have just that 1 hour, boys and girls. Okay, so 1 hour and 85 minutes, boys and girls. But here's the thing. Remember, boys and girls, for every 60 minutes that I can subtract from this side, just like we did here, we subtracted 60 minutes. from all the 135 minutes over here. Every time that I can subtract 60 minutes from this side, then it's going to be adding over here to 1 hour. And then we're going to see how many minutes we have left, okay? I'm not doing this final step for you. That is your job. I'm going to put a question mark over here also. That means that you still owe me the answer, boys and girls, okay? So don't forget, subtract 60 minutes, convert it, change it into 1 hour. You move the 1 hour over to the side, and how many minutes would you still have left? Remember, this was not the final answer either, boys and girls. You were still able to take away another 60 minutes and convert it to an hour. But here, I think if you just convert 1 hour, I think you would be fine. Because remember, boys and girls, we're just subtracting 60 minutes to make an hour. All right. So please finish number 15. Thank you, boys and girls. Let's go to number 16. Math and science. A magnetic compass points toward Earth's North Pole. Using a compass, Cassandra hikes 4 4/10 miles northeast. She then hikes 3 2/10 miles east. Finally, she hikes 2 1/10 miles south. How many miles does she hike in all? Boys and girls, this one is easy. This has nothing to do with elapsed time. They just want to know how much does she hike in all, boys and girls. So what do you think you're going to do with the 4 4/10, the 3 2/10, and the 2 1/10, boys and girls, if they want to know how much she hiked in all? What's the operation, boys and girls? Okay, if you said add, good job. You're going to add these three numbers, these three decimal numbers to give me that final answer. I'm not helping you set this one up, boys and girls. Please do it on your own. And again, I want the answer. Okay, I'm putting a question mark here. That means that you still need to answer the question. All right, number 17. Henry flies from Washington, connect. Henry flies from Washington, D.C., right here, to Boston, Massachusetts, all the way to Boston. Okay. The first flight from Washington, D.C. to New York was 1 hour and 12 minutes. So, and they gave you that information. Doesn't that kind of look like this, what we're seeing examples of, boys and girls? Okay. And so from Washington, D.C. to New York, it was 1 hour and 12 minutes. And they're showing you here 1 hour, 12 minutes. But then there's a layover, boys and girls, in New York City that lasts 2 hours and 41 minutes. This layover, boys and girls, in New York City lasts 2 hours and 41 minutes. Here's the thing. They did not include that for you here. Okay. We'll talk about that in a minute. But then the flight from New York City to Boston lasted 1 hour and 10 minutes. Okay, so from Washington to New York, that much. And then New York to Boston, this much, right? So, but remember, boys and girls, there's a layover we'll talk about in a minute. How long is it from the time the first flight takes off to the time Henry touches down in Boston? Okay, boys and girls, what they're asking you is from the first flight that he took off, which is right here in Washington, and from the time that he touches down in Boston, which is at the final destination, boys and girls. So they want to know how long it took for the airplane to travel all the way to Boston. Okay, how long did that take? Now, if you say we're going to add, yes, good job, but you're not just going to add the information that's provided here, boys and girls. They left this information out. They left out the 2 hours and 41 minutes that should go right there in between, boys and girls. And the reason why is because of this, the layover in New York City. You might be asking, Ms., what's a layover? Let me explain. A layover, boys and girls, is when you're stuck at the airport from one airplane to the next. If you've flown before, maybe this has happened to you. You have to get like you fly from McAllen, you fly to San Antonio, and then from San Antonio you have to get off the airplane and get on a different airplane, and get on another plane. Airplane is going to take you to California, maybe. So sometimes there's a wait time, boys and girls. You can see here these ladies, they're waiting. So is this gentleman. It's because of that word layover, boys and girls. So they're connecting flights. So when you get on an airplane, sometimes it takes you straight to where you want to go, boys and girls. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it takes you to a different airport and you have to, from there, get another airplane, and then it'll take you where you need to go. So sometimes you have to wait for that second airplane, and this is called a layover. You're just waiting until the next plane takes you, until the next time you have to get on another plane to continue your destination, to continue your flight. Okay, so don't forget about this time, boys and girls. 2 hours and 41 minutes goes between there. So now, knowing that, yes, you're going to add all this information up, boys and girls. And if I were you, I would just add it over here to the side. Remember, boys and girls, if there's a number in our way, we build a little wall. So you would write 1 hour. I'm just put the letter 1 hour and 10 minutes. And then you also had 1 hour and 12 minutes. But do not forget to include that time that Henry was waiting, boys and girls, with the layover. And he had to wait 2 hours and 41 minutes until the next plane was ready to take him to his destination. All right, boys and girls, you are going to add these. But remember, boys and girls, you need to keep your minutes and your hours separate. So go ahead and add your minutes. Go ahead and add your hours. But remember, boys and girls, for every 60 minutes, you need to convert it to an hour. So whatever minutes you have on this side, remember to subtract 60 minutes. And every time you're able to subtract 60 minutes, that hour changes, that hour moves over to your hour column. And you're going to keep subtracting until you cannot anymore, boys and girls. So your final answer is how many hours and minutes did it take Henry to travel from Washington to Boston, boys and girls? Okay, again, don't forget to convert. Every time you have 60 minutes, every whatever minutes you have here, remember, boys and girls, you can subtract 60 minutes, change it to an hour, and then see how many minutes you have left. Like here, boys and girls, we can still subtract another 60 minutes. Here, boys and girls, you probably could only do it one time. Okay? All right, let's continue. I'm gonna put a question mark here. That means that you still owe me the answer, boys and girls. Item 18. On Saturday, Jack spends 1 hour, 58 minutes working in the yard. If you spend a total of 5 hours, 25 minutes on yard work this weekend, how long did Jack work in the yard on Sunday? Okay, guys. Remember, boys and girls, if we didn't stop and think about it, we have no idea what we're doing. And I can tell you right now, I don't know what I'm doing. So I need to go back and stop and think. All right, boys, here we go. Here we go, guys. On Saturday, Jack spends 1 hour, 58 minutes working in the yard. All right, so what am I picturing? I'm seeing this young man in the yard with the lawnmower on Saturday. That's how long it took him. Okay. If he spent a total of 5 hours, 25 minutes on yard work this weekend. So that's how much you spend on the yard work the entire weekend. And boys and girls, the weekend has 2 days. Does anyone know what 2 days are, boys and girls, that make up the weekend? Saturday and Sunday. Yes, boys and girls. So this is how much you spend on Saturday. This is how much you spend on both days, boys and girls. That's the weekend. And then the question is, how long did Jack work in the yard on Sunday? All right, boys and girls, do you know what I'm thinking about? How I'm going to set this up? If this is the total that represents both days, Saturday and Sunday, because this is the weekend, and this is the amount he spent on just one day, Saturday, and I'm trying to find the second day, Sunday, an amount that I'm missing, does anyone have an idea how we're going to set this up? Does anyone know? If you set a strip diagram, good job. All right, boys and girls, we have a total. The weekend, that means 2 days, boys and girls. And the total for the weekend was 5 hours and 25 minutes. So guess what? That's what I'm going to write up here. That's my total. 5 hours, 25 minutes. Okay, down here, boys and girls, can someone help me, please? How many pieces do I need down here? How many pieces do we need, boys and girls? If you said 2, good job. Why do we need 2? Well, we have Saturday and we have Sunday. We know 1 piece. We know how much he spent on what day, boys and girls? Saturday. On Saturday, we know he spent 1 hour and 58 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and write that. So on Saturday was 1 hour and 58 minutes. Okay, so what I'm trying to find, boys and girls, is this amount. How much did he spend on Sunday? We've seen strip diagrams before, boys and girls. What do you think we should do to find what we're missing? Do you think we should add or do you think we should subtract? And boys and girls, if you said subtract, good job. So let's set this up. Remember, boys and girls, what I like to do, if there's a number in our way, we build a wall and we separate. Okay, boys and girls, we're going to subtract. And just like when we subtract, we always write the big number first. How do I know which one's bigger? Do you think 58 minutes should be first? 1 hour, 58 minutes, because 58 is bigger? Or should we write 5 hours and 25 minutes first because 5 hours is bigger? What do you think, boys and girls? If you said the 5 hours and 25 minutes is bigger, then you are correct. And that is the number I'm going to write first. Okay. 5 hours and 25 minutes. And subtract, because we're trying to find something that's missing. It's going to be 1 hour and 58 minutes. Okay, boys and girls. Remember, you need to keep the minutes and the hours separate. Okay, so we're looking at this, boys and girls. First of all, just look at the number 25. Remember, you're ignoring this side for a minute. So 25 take away 58. Boys and girls, you cannot do that. 25 is not bigger than 58. You cannot. So we're going to regroup. How are we going to regroup? Well, this 5 hours, you're going to take away 1 hour. Just like we were doing over here, boys and girls, subtracting the 60 minutes, regrouping and throwing the hour on this side, moving the arrow to the side. Well, now we're going to do the opposite direction. Okay. So if I want to take away 1 hour from this, now it's going to be 4 hours. And if I took away 1 hour, that doesn't mean I just have a number 1 over here, boys and girls. Because remember, boys and girls, 1 hour is equivalent to 60 minutes. 60 minutes, boys and girls. So really, I am moving over 60 minutes. And it's already 25 minutes there with now 60 minutes. So if I regrouped 60 minutes, boys and girls, and 25 minutes were already there. So really, boys and girls, get a little thicker. If I had 60 minutes there, boys and girls, and I regrouped an additional 60 minutes. So really, boys and girls, we now have, sorry, that's a little thick. Give me a minute. Okay. So now we have 85 minutes, boys and girls. Where did I get the 85 minutes? Remember, I took away 1 hour from the hour side. So it's not just regroup a number 1. The unit is an hour, boys and girls, and this is minutes, different units. So when I moved over 1 hour, I really moved over 60 minutes. So now I have 60 minutes on this side. And we already had 25 there, so we added them. 60 plus 25 gives me 85. Now I'm ready to subtract, boys and girls. All right, 5 take away 8. And if you say we cannot, thank you, we cannot. We need to regroup. So the 8 becomes a 7, gives me a 1. I'm now a 15. Circle it, boys and girls. Okay, 15 take away 8. 15 take away 8. And if you don't know, you know you can count up. We say 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 7. 7 take away 5, it's 2. So we have 27 minutes left, boys and girls, on this side. 27 minutes left. And 4 hours take away 1 hour, we have 3 hours. Okay? So the answer that we're missing, boys and girls, is letter C. Yes, boys and girls, I helped you with all the steps here because this was different. We had already done a couple of examples where we were regrouping the minutes to hours, subtracting 60 as much as we could and moving over hours. We had 3 examples of this, boys and girls, but this is our first example where we needed to do it kind of backwards. Remember, I've always told you the STAR test loves to trip you up. They love to give you the same question but ask it a different way. So it's okay, boys and girls. We did this one together, and you see that little star? That means that was a thinker, boys and girls. But it's okay. We did it together. As long as you understood it, you're doing the work, you're understanding it, it's fine. All right, number 19. Extend your thinking. Dave's dog is 1 decade, 2 years, 9 months, 3 days old. Dave is half as old as his dog. How old is Dave? I mean, what do we say, boys and girls? Like, what? Okay, let's think, boys and girls. Dave's dog. 1 decade, and a decade, boys and girls, a decade means 10 years. 10 years, boys and girls. Okay, so the dog. I'm going to write me some notes. Okay, so dog. Okay, so I'm going to already change the 1 decade to 10 years. I'm going to put 10 in the letter Y for years. Okay, the decade is 10 years, and the dog is also another 2 years. So I'm going to put here because I can keep those together. Okay, now we have 9 months and 3 days. So I'll put that separate. 9 months, 3 days. Okay, so then we're talking about Dave, the owner. And they're telling me that Dave is half as old as the dog. So however the dog is, however his age, Dave is going to be half of that. So I need to cut that number in half, boys and girls. Okay. How old is Dave? Okay, well, what do you want to do with this information, boys and girls? Okay, we can add the years. You cannot add months to years, boys and girls, because that's not the same units. Okay, so we can keep it all separate, I guess. It would be what? The dog is 12 years, 9 months, and 3 days. But for Dave, we have to cut that in half. What would be easier, boys and girls? What do you want to do? Do you want to change? I think years should be fine, right? Because I mean, I can cut that in half. 12 years, we can cut it in half. What about these two? Do you want to change them to? I can't change days to months, but I can change months to days. You want to do that? Let's do that. Okay. So what do we know? We know that, what do we know about months and days? Okay. On average, boys and girls, 1 month is equal to 30 days on average. Okay. So if you want to change these to days, so 1 month is 30 days. Now we have 9 months, boys and girls. What do you want to do with the 9 months and the 30 days, boys and girls? For every month, for each month is 30, but now you have 9 months. What do you want to do there, boys and girls? Put 9 months here. Repeated addition, boys and girls. Oops. Okay. So boys and girls, 1 month is 30 days, but I have 9. So what they do to the 1 for become a 30? It increased, boys and girls. And you said times 30, you are correct. And what do we say, boys and girls? What you do to the top, we do to the bottom. So the 9 months, we're also going to multiply by 30 to give us the number of days. Okay, so 30 times 9. Okay, 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 3 is 27. So that's 270 days, boys and girls. Okay, 270 days. So the 9 months is equivalent to 270 days. We already had 3 days, boys and girls. So that gives you a grand 270 days plus 3 is 273 days. Okay. Okay. So then we can divide the years in half and the days in half. That's an option. So half of 12 years is 6 years. And we can divide that in half. Or we could have just divided the 9 months in half, but you can't really divide 9 months in half. Can you? Because if we 9 divided by 2, you cut 9 in half, that would have given you 4.5 months. Right, 4.5 months. So 4 years, 4 months. Okay. And half of month is 30 days. No, half a month is 15 days. And half of 3 days is 1.5 days. So maybe 6 years, 4 months, and 16.5 days. Again, guys, these are one of those extend your thinking. Those are one of those thinker ones. All right, boys and girls. So you still owe me question number 14, 15, 16, and 17. And you know what I like to say, boys and girls, when you do your math, I want to see un rayadero. You can see it on my screen here. All right, boys and girls, thank you guys.